Hey everyone, this is Dawn with Advanced Life Coaching and Be Fabulous podcast. You can find me on Spotify, Breaker, and other platforms. I wanted to talk today. You can also find me on YouTube on my channel, Advanced Life Coaching. So welcome so much. Please support my channel, support my podcast, so I can continue to give you good information, to help make your life a little less stress-free, a little less stressful, so a lot more stress-free. Anyway, so today I wanted to talk about worry. And I know people have been stressed the last couple of years, and so grateful that things are starting to get better and people are feeling better about the future. But that doesn't mean that we stop worrying, because there are many worries other than politics or money. People worry about family, people worry about their health, themselves, and mostly people worry about things that really are out of their control. Because if you were in control of something, would you worry about it? And I would say no, because most people don't worry about what they can control. Worry really comes from feeling like you're out of control. So let me just ask you this question. And I wonder, how many problems have you solved just by worrying about them? And really think about that. Think about things that you worry about, whether it's now or in the past. How many of those problems were solved just by worrying about them? And my guess is none. And if you did solve a problem, how would you do it? How did you solve a problem by worrying about it? And realistically, no problem will be solved by worrying about it. Worry is actually a sign that you need change. So when you're worried about something, that's just you thinking about something over and over and over again. Something normally which you cannot control. Like maybe you worry about your kids, and you worry about them falling off their bike when they're bike riding and they're not close to you, and you can't do anything about it, and you worry about maybe the choices that your kids are going to make when they get older. Well, worrying about it isn't going to make them make better choices or keep them from falling off a bike. What you need to do is teach them how to make better choices. And the more confident you are that somebody is going to make better choices, or the more confident you are in trusting somebody else's ability, the less you'll worry about it. And so on the bike thing, if you sat down with your child and said, listen, these are the steps to take if you fall off the bike. Get back up, get back on it. If you're hurt, make sure you have your phone, and call me, let me know. Go biking with other people so that someone's there who can help you. Have parameters in place, because the more parameters that you have in place, the less you worry about it. The more structure you have, the more of a strategy you have, the less you're going to worry. Because if something goes wrong, you already have your plan for step B and C. So for example, maybe you're worried about the decisions your children will make. Well, what can you do to ensure that they're going to make better choices? Well, you're not in their head, and you can't make choices for them. But things that you could do is have more family time. Really talk about making choices. Talk to them about how to make good choices. Build up their confidence so that they don't get influenced by the wrong people. Teach them to have boundaries. Maybe have more family time. So, they can just see by your example how you make choices by spending more time with you. Or a really big one is play games together, especially critical thinking games. Teach them to think outside the box. Teach them to make better decisions. Teach them to hone in on their emotions and understand them. And you can do this, with conversations. If you feel like you're not able to teach them that, maybe you should take communication classes or take them with your children. And then you all can learn to communicate together. That's a really good thing to do. And maybe you worry about work or your work situation. Well, what can you do to make yourself more valuable, more needed at work? Maybe you could take extra training, maybe you could take other classes, or maybe you're just not thrilled with the job you have. Maybe you can get extra skills and put yourself in a position where you can transition to something you're more passionate about. Or like I said, take extra training, take communication classes, learn to have better rapport. Maybe you can build better client relationships, which will make you more valuable in your workplace. So instead of worrying about things, really worry is there kind of to tell you to take action. What actions can you take that will alleviate this worry? Because when you spend your time worrying about something, especially other people or things that you don't have control of, it really depletes your energies. And not only does it deplete your energies, it takes a physical toll on your body. Because when you're spending all your time and attention focused on something that gets you upset, because most people aren't really happy when they're worrying. They're a little on the upset side. Maybe you're frustrated, maybe you're anxious, maybe that causes anxiety. Either way, it's going to cause some form of stress. And when you have this stress, your body takes a physical toll, because every thought you have, your body has a physical reaction to it. So what can you do? You could work out. You can make that part of your daily plan, stretching, working out, meditation. That'll help you even think of new solutions. It kind of frees your mind from the worrying, so you're able to think, to get new, fresh ideas. When you're focused on what you're worried on, you're focused on one particular event or one item or one situation. And your brain, you're just not open to a lot of new ideas and different solutions to a problem. So getting out of that worry mindset, whether you go and play a sport, work out, take a nice walk, take your dog on a walk, just let your mind clear for a little bit. Yoga, meditation, swimming, whatever it is that kind of frees you up and allows you to think about more positive things, and more positive things that support you and support your goals. Again, maybe you want to start a hobby, guitar lessons, painting, go out, do something. And not everything has to be expensive. Maybe you could find a YMCA, something like that offers different classes, maybe even things you can do with your children. Go on nice long walks, find bike trails, go biking together. All those things help build your relationships. And they also help you mentally and physically, as well as allowing you to find different solutions to whatever's worrying you. If you're worried about your health, well, that's telling you need to make a change. What can you change in your health? Maybe you might want to start changing your diet. Stay away from sugar, start eating better, things like that. So when you're worrying and you have these physical effects on your body, it doesn't help to focus on what's wrong. You really want to focus on what will help change this situation. And you don't want to waste your time on worry. It's a waste of your time, it's a waste of your physical and mental energy. You don't want it to physically and mentally make you feel bad. And so the best solution is really to address this worry. So ask yourself, what would happen for me to feel safe and comfortable about this? Or, I'm sorry, what would have to happen for me to feel safe and comfortable about this situation? What would have to happen for me to feel safe and comfortable about whatever I'm worrying? What would have to happen for me to feel secure at work? What would have to happen for me to feel safe and comfortable with my relationship? What would have to happen for me to trust this or that situation or person? Really ask yourself these questions. What would have to happen for me to feel however it is you want to feel? Whether it's confident, secure, safe. What do you have to feel so you no longer worry about this situation? That is your answer. Whatever the answer is to that question, that's what you need to take actions for or take actions on to really support a positive outcome. And you want actions that'll give you a positive outcome. You don't want to take actions that are negative, obviously. So figure out, what can you do to support this positive outcome? What can you do that'll make you feel good and take away this stress of worrying about something all the time? Maybe you worry about aging, right? So what can you do to feel younger and more vibrant? What can you do to make you laugh more? Maybe start going to comedy clubs. Maybe get a new group of friends. Join a hiking group, join a reading group. Like, what activities do you like where you can surround yourself with like-minded people that are positive and good influences so that you can really feel good about your next step in life? I think that's probably one of the most important questions you can ask yourself. What would have to happen for me to feel however you want to feel, for me to feel happy, for me to feel comfortable? Maybe you stress about your retirement. What would have to happen for you to be able to save more money, for you to be able to invest? Maybe you need to go and talk to a financial advisor and say, hey, this is my income. How can I start saving? How much do I need to save per month? And what would be the best areas to invest in? What would be the best way, to make my money work for me? And then start doing it. You might have to clamp down on your finances a bit, but by doing that, you have this peace of mind for your future. Another good question you could ask yourself after you ask yourself, what would have to happen for me to feel comfortable and stop worrying about whatever? The next question you want to ask yourself is, when I stop worrying about this, how will that improve my life? What does that open up for me? So if you stop worrying about your finances, what would you do instead? What would you do if you weren't worried about that? Would you invest in yourself? Because if you invest in yourself, if you're not worried about your finances and you're investing in yourself, would investing in yourself help you stop worrying about your finances? Maybe now you're taking a little pinch because you're paying for classes, or maybe you can find free ones. There's a lot of free information out there, and you're learning a new skill or a new trade. Maybe you're going to invest in yourself and start your own web page, or start your own little store, or big. Maybe it'll grow to be a huge store. But you're going to start your own store and start selling items. Maybe you're really artistic and you're going to start painting and selling that. Like, what could you do with the skills and gifts that you have right now to invest in yourself? That's a really good question too. Maybe you can have 2-3 different lines of income coming in. So it's really important to ask yourself, when you're feeling like you're worrying about something, what can I do right now which will alleviate this worry in the future? Because that future might be tomorrow. It might be a year from now. You know, maybe you have a family member who's ill. Well, what can you do right now for them? You may not be able to change their mindset, but you could try. You could be really positive and you know, be a positive light in their life and change their attitude for the moments that you're with them. That might be all you can do, and that might just be enough. That might be all that other person needs. Maybe they're really upset or stressed out about their situation. You could be a nice ear, and you could listen to them and give them encouragement. You know, maybe you could just, you know, be there. And just realize that you being there for them is enough. That you being there for another person and being the soft shoulder that they need, or the encouragement, or the friendly word, or the smile that they need, is enough. So instead of worrying about their health and being upset that you can't make them better, you can't change their diagnosis, do what you can. And when you start doing that, allow yourself to focus on, they had a good day today. You know, you can't play God. You don't know when they're going to no longer have a day with you. So do what you can so that they can have a great day. If you're worried and upset, then the people around you are going to pick up on that energy. So my advice for worry is just understand that emotion of being worried, or that action of being worried, is just telling you care about something. You care, and it needs some kind of change. And the most you can do sometimes is give someone a big hug, let them know you love them, you're there for them. And sometimes you just have to let it go, because you can't change what other people do, and worrying about it won't help. It'll make you sick. It'll affect your life, and it's not really going to change the problem. If there's something you can do so that you can make positive changes, so you no longer worry about this problem, that's what the worry's for. It's there to let you know, I'm stuck. I'm in this situation I cannot control. So think of ways that you can control. You know, you control your attitude, you control your thoughts, and you can control your actions that you take. And make them positive, make them fun, you know? Make it something that brings out your light and the light of those around you. And when it comes to worry, I just say worry, worry, blurry. Like you're worried, your focus, blurry. Let that focus go blurry. So you're not focused on the negative that you're worried about. Let that negative go blurry, and just focus on what you can to improve the situation. Worry, worry, blur. And just find what makes you happy, you know? And if that means you have to end a relationship, or if that means you have to change jobs, or you have to end something else, new beginnings are amazing. Don't worry about a new beginning. Don't be afraid that you don't know what's going to happen, because this new relationship, this new job, this new event, this new beginning is something you haven't dealt with before. Because it will work out, especially when you're focused on the positive outcome, especially when you're focused on what can I do to improve this new situation, this transition. When you're thinking about what you can do to improve something, you're taking action. You're not worried about it. Worry is when you're feeling stuck. So it's a good thing to tell you to take action. And it really is all about being aware. The state of worry is just really to remind you and have you focus on really being aware. Because you don't worry about the things that are working out. You don't worry about the things that you're in control of. And this is because you're taking action and you're making changes. When you're stuck, when you're not taking action, when you're not making changes, you start worrying about things. And yeah, it's really easy to worry about your kids, but that's where you have to have trust. That's where you have to say, okay, what is it that I'm worried about? I'm worried about their decision making. Why? Is it because you don't trust their decision making? And if that's the case, go back to building rapport. Go back to having conversations. Go back to playing games, spending more time teaching, how to make better decisions, having conversations about how to make good decisions, Or maybe you need to just work on trusting them, trusting that you did a good job. Maybe it has nothing to do with them at all. Maybe these people are making really good decisions, and yet you still worry. Why? It's because of you. It's because of you. You worry you didn't do a good job. You worry that now if they're making their own choices, you're not in control. And this could be not just in a relationship or with your kids, even at work. Maybe you micromanage everything because you don't trust that other people will make the right choices. That's a control issue. So that goes back to you. Sometimes when you worry too much, it's a control issue, which just means you need to learn to let go. You need to learn to trust other people. And most importantly, you need to love yourself enough to know that these people are around you, and if you're an employer, you picked them. You hired them. Trust them, because you went to hire them if you didn't believe that they could do the job. And the people in your family, if they've shown you they can make good choices, trust them. Trust that you did a good job. All you can do is just spend more time with people. Encourage them. If you feel like people are slacking around you, give them more love and support. The more you encourage them, the more they will trust their self, and then they will make these better choices that you're concerned about. If somebody does make a bad choice, talk about it. Say, hey, maybe there was a better solution. What can we do in the future? Do you really think this is the best solution for this problem? And talk about it. You don't have to always be in control. In fact, when you give up control it's better on you. Definitely bring down your blood pressure. It'll help your health. And when you're able to trust people, and people feel and see that you are trusting them and you're listening to them, and it makes them feel better about what they're doing, they'll start trusting their own instincts. They'll start feeling more confident about the choices they're making, especially when you're encouraging it and when you're telling them, hey, you did a good job. Hey, I really like that. If you go to an art class with your kid, don't micromanage. Don't sit there and tell them, oh, you could have done better. Oh, use this color instead. Let them use their creative mind. Encourage their decision making. And this is how they'll be adults making better decisions. Even if you all are adults, still do that. Because it's never too late to let people feel confident within themselves. And by trusting others, by letting go of some of this control, you are building up other people's confidence. When you're micromanaging everything and you're like, no, use this color instead. No, that line's not straight enough. All you're doing is teaching another person they can't do anything right. And just because they do something differently than how you would do it, doesn't mean it's wrong. And it doesn't mean that it's not going to have a great positive outcome. So when you're worried all the time, really look at yourself and realize, where do you need to give up control? Is this a problem where maybe you need a little extra training so you can get that promotion you want? Or is this a problem where you just need to learn to relax, quit focusing on it, and allow other people to shine? And really realize, how can I fix this problem? How can I fix this so I don't worry about it? What has to happen so that I feel comfortable with this? And if your answer is, what has to happen is I have to control everything? No, that's not the answer. That is not how we solve the problem. That would be, if that's really how you feel, then you have to look at yourself and be like, okay, what has to happen so I can be comfortable giving up control? What has to happen so I can trust that I'm doing a good job? And sometimes that's just looking around and realizing people are doing good. Things around you are working out. That's where you got to focus on being grateful for what you do have. Because worrying will only destroy you. It'll hurt you, your mental and physical health. So you have to learn ways to get past this, whether it's a control issue or not, whether it boils down to supporting others, and maybe you don't trust others will make good decisions because you realize they second guess all their decisions. Give them support. Let them know they make good decisions. Support their choice making, especially when they're making good choices. Tell them, hey, you don't have to second guess yourself. Go with your first instinct. You have good instincts. Maybe they've never been supported before. Figure out what you can do to get the results you want. And I guarantee things will work out better for you. You'll be happy. Just remember, worry, blurry. Worry, it's not going to get you anywhere. Fade it out. Quit focusing on it. Fade it out. And I think you'll do a lot better with finding solutions and worrying less. So thank you so much. I hope you got some good, valuable information today. Maybe you can start putting these techniques into your life. Start being happy. Start supporting others. And most of all, support yourself. Love and support yourself, because I know you're doing great. You're doing great with the knowledge and the information you have. You're obviously trying to learn something new and productive every day. And I support you on that. And so definitely support yourself. Thank you so much for watching this video or listening to this podcast. I love you. I appreciate you. Communicate without hate, and have a fabulous day. I'm Dawn with Advanced Life Coaching. Please check out my website, advancedlifecoaching.org, and book a consultation, book a session, a few sessions, and have a fabulous life and be happy. You can find me on Spotify and my YouTube, Advanced Life Coaching. I'm Dawn. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.